so excited to have knitting friends knitting socks with me. But anyway, so I'll talk a little bit more about it in the news section. Good day everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mariette, also known as the Boervrou, and this is episode 15 of the Crafty Stitches Podcast. Today is the 11th of July 2022 and I'm coming to you from South Africa. I made some notes and yeah, it's gonna be here, so I'm gonna look at this side a lot. I have so much to talk about and a little bit of time, so I'm gonna jump right in and get this episode going. I just wanted to say thank you to all my viewers that always comes back and chat with me and come visit with me in the podcast. Thank you so much for coming back, and welcome to all the new viewers. I hope that you will enjoy this content. So first of all, I will quickly share what I am wearing. This is my summer top that I made for the fall garment make along hosted by Nitty Natty last year. I will link it down below, and I'll also put on the screen in which episode I spoke about this quite a lot. And I'm also wearing my Beekeeper Cardigan that I recently finished. I will also link that down below for you. If you want to see what changes I made to the pattern and so forth. Alright, today I have 3 finished objects and a half finished object for you, so let's get straight into that. Okay, so one of the finished objects maybe is not completely finished because I still need to sew on the buttons, but in my mind it's finished because I did all the sewing together of panels. So the first finished object is this little baby cardigan that I was making for a family member that asked for it. I still just need to sew on the buttons and I need to wash it. Because yeah, I have a little dog and she's always on my lap, and this is definitely dirty and cannot go to the home that it should go to before it was not washed. So I am so very pleased that this project is finished. This baby cardigan is the a free pattern on Owl's website. It is called something like Baby Cardigan Booties. I'll put a picture up. And I actually used 91 grams of yarn for this cardigan so far. The yarn that I used is this Owl Baby 4-ply. Oh, maybe I should just do that. Right. And I am using a 2.25mm hook for this project, even though it is suggested in the pattern for a 3mm hook, but I only got gauge with a 2.25mm hook. And I made the 0 to 6 month size, and it is measuring the right size as it is on this on the pattern. So I got it right to the right size. So I'll be putting the buttons on this one, and I'm sure you won't see it in the podcast again. I'll take a picture and post it to my Instagram, because this might go to the family in this week or next week. So that is my first finished object. Alright, my second finished object is this cowl that I re-knitted. It is one of the projects that came out of my whip pin that I wanted to re-knit because it was a little bit too big, and I am very pleased with this one. I will put it on and put a picture up for you so that you can see what it looks like. I made this top piece where I put a I-cord in so that I can cinch it closer to my neck, because I don't like cowls flipping over and just hanging down there. I like them to be around my neck. So this one is nice and long and makes a nice bunches up nicely around the neck. So I'm very, very pleased with how this one came out. I'm very happy that it is done as well. I actually met this goal of mine to knit it in last month, and this is now knitted, washed, blocked, ends trimmed, everything. Alright, so what did I use for this project? Where is my label? I took out all of the labels and now got them all mixed up. So I used some Moya 100% double knit cotton for this project, which is a hand-dyed South African yarn, and I used the color Sangria for this project. Yes, I'm very pleased with this one, and very pleased that it's done. I love it, and now I can actually wear it because I wanted to keep it nice and not wrinkly for the podcasts. So I love wearing these cowls in the afternoon when we go for walks with the dogs, and then it can keep my neck nice and cozy. Right, my third finished object for this episode is the socks that I was making for my husband, Anton. So in the previous episode, I don't know where I got all this fluff. In the previous episode, I was at this point because it is worked toe up, and I actually finished the whole sock. I made a heel flap and gusset, and I'm so pleased with these socks. They are already washed, blocked, trimmed and everything. So I don't know, who am I? I got all of these projects done, and most of them are blocked and washed. Anyway, so this is another pair of socks that can go to the cupboard, which I'm very, very happy about. We really do need more socks in our lives. I used the Regia 4-ply yarn for this socks, and I used 2.5mm needles for these socks, and I did them on magic loop. The Regia 4-ply is a 75% wool and 25% polyamide blend. The yarn is from Germany, and I bought this at Arthur Bales, and I really love this yarn. It feels very, very rough on the hands when you start knitting with it, but if you washed it for the first time, it just softens up and it's just gorgeous. I love it. It feels a lot like the Naco yarns that I started knitting socks with, and maybe that's why I love it so much, but I really love this, and I am really excited to see how these will wear up in boots, and I'll keep you posted on how they do. So I'm very happy with that. That's another whip that is finished. And then the third finished or half finished object that I have, you haven't even seen yet, but I just couldn't put it down. I couldn't. It's one of those things that it just happens. So I actually finished another sock. This is the Naughty Habit light fingering, 50% superwash merino, 15% mulberry silk, 15% kit mohair, and 20% polyamide blend that I bought from Naughty Habit when she had a pop-up shop at Little Yarn Craft. And this colorway's name is Just Like That. And I love this yarn. It is beautiful. This is the same composition of yarn as the African Expressions sole that I used for a pair of socks for my husband previously. And Adela from the Yarn Creations podcast sent me a message when I was working or planning to work with a yarn, and she said to me that I need to size down a needle size, and I did that, made a gauge swatch, and saw that it does grow a little bit when it gets washed. So I did size down to 2.3 millimeter TPNs for that pair because it was all that I had. And in the meantime, I got myself a 2.25 millimeter 9-inch circular needle, and that is what I knit this sock on. I knit this one cuff down with a heel flap and gusset, which is my favorite heel at this moment. I actually haven't tried any other heels because this fits so well. That is something else for the future. But that is what I did. I knit up another sock. So this is my first July sock. And yes, I have started the second sock, and you will see that one in the whips section. So yes, that is all of the finished and half finished objects that I have for this episode. So let's move straight on to whips. All right. Oh, I missed something. Another finished object that I have is my lace. Completely forgot about that one. So in the previous episode, I was at this point for the lace, and I actually finished the second piece of the lace that I'm making for my pantry shelves. So now I do have 2 pieces of the 6 that I'm making. So yes, I do have another finished object. So right, let's now move on to whips. All right, my first whip, before I start actually with the whips, I have not cast on or started the third piece of lace yet, but I will do that still today. I just had a little bit of other things on my plate and I didn't get to that yet. But I am planning to do a piece of lace this month, and I'm sure I will do that. I will cast that on as soon as I'm finished with this recording. So let's get to my first whip for this episode, which is the hat that I am making for my husband. This is actually the second hat that I'm working on. The first one is almost right, but I'm not allowed to frog it, so I started a new one. And this is the one that you saw in the previous episode. I was just past the brim and I frogged it back. I added a little progress keeper there by Itsy Klein. That is where I frogged it back, and then I re-knit this piece, and I did more short rows and stuff for the ears, and yes, it seems to be doing what I wanted to do. Previously, I tried adding some short rows and it didn't happen what I wanted to happen. And as I was looking at it, I was thinking, you know what? I was at this workshop and Juanita said that short rows is bending of fabric. And I was like, why is my fabric not bending like I wanted to? But anyway, I think I got it right. So I'm making space for the ears, because the other hat, it is as if the ears are pushing the fabric away from the head, and it makes a a gap here and the wind goes in. So I don't know if this is going to work yet, but it looks like it's doing what I want it to do. So we shall see how this one goes. I'm very excited about this one actually. It's nice to see something you tried to envision in your head come to life, even though I actually ripped this back 2 times before I got this far. So we are getting somewhere. We are getting somewhere, and I'm very excited. So I actually don't know where this yarn label is. I forgot to take this one out. This is the Owl Pure Gold double knit yarn that I'm using from my stash, in the colorway Grizzly, I think. And I am knitting this on 4mm. Yes, 4mm US 6 needles. My Chaigu interchangeable set that I built up. So yes, I think that is all that I can say for this project. I'm really trying to finish this one, and I think I should put this up on my July Accountability Train project, because winter's almost gone and this hat's not finished yet. So I must really make a plan to get it done. I have so many other things that I also want to knit on, so it's very difficult, but I need to finish this hat, and I'm going to try my best to finish it this month, even though I am ripping back a lot, but we shall see how this goes. So that is my first actual whip. Right, what else is there? Let's just go to the socks, because I love the socks. So as I just showed you in the finished section, this is the first one of the pair, and I cast on the second sock. I actually cast on this second sock yesterday afternoon, because yesterday was the 10th of July and it was the start of Sock Week. So Sock Week is a make-along hosted by Nitty Natty of the Love and Stitches podcast, and yeah, this is my 3rd year participating in Sock Week, and I am so glad that my friend Leanie from Independence Crochet from the Pick Up Stitches podcast actually started knitting socks this year. So this year she is joining us for Sock Week, and yesterday I was looking at her Instagram, and she shared the cast on of her sock, and she actually flew through the sock. I think yesterday afternoon she was saying she was almost like past the heel or something. So yeah, that went quick. So I'm so excited to have knitting friends knitting socks with me. But anyway, so I'll talk a little bit more about it in the news section. So this is my second sock for the pair. I'm not sure how many rounds I did. I didn't really actually count, but let me just add a progress keeper here so that I can track this progress. So yes, my cuff is almost halfway done. I am not chasing through the sock at all this year. I am just participating in a very relaxed fashion. But just look at this yarn, you guys. Really, this is beautiful. This yarn, as I said, is by Knotty Habit. Oh, I love this yarn, and it feels amazing. So this is my second whip for this episode, and I must say I'm really enjoying the 9-inch circulars. I actually bought a 3.25mm one for double knit socks, which I'm knitting my scrappy socks on, and I really like them. I like them a lot. I'm just sad that you have to switch to something else for the toe, because the circumference is getting too small, or is too small to start with if you're doing toe up. So you have to do magic loop or DPNs for your start of your sock if you're doing toe up, or the end of your sock if you're doing cuff down. But anyway, So I'm very excited about this project. You can watch the space for something coming with this exact pair of socks. I won't share too much. You'll see them soon enough. But anyway, so that is my third whip. Actually, no. It is my second whip, my July socks. Alright, so that is the socks. And then, as I mentioned in my previous episode, my friend Leanie of Independence Crochet and I went to a workshop hosted by Juanita from Knits on Instagram at the Yarnie Corner on the 2nd of July 2022. So we went to this class. It was a Brioche workshop, and we started the Skreppa cowl. Oh my goodness. I'll put a picture up. And yes, I could not put it down. It was very hard. Very, very hard. Okay. So, this is my progress for the Skreppa cowl. Oh my, I couldn't put it down. I had such a hard time. You see, that's why I haven't started the lace as well, because this thing just screamed my name. Oh my, just look at that. I was very adventurous. I actually used this Knotty Habit yarn. It is a 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon on her Kaiso base. This is actually part of a sock set that I got as a gift, but I started with this speckly main color for my main color as well on the cowl, and then I am using African Expressions Hope mohair for this project. I actually forgot the yarn label, so I'll put it on the screen. For my contrast color, so I am holding 2 strands of mohair together to make up my fingering weight for my contrasting color. And yeah, this is the effect I'm getting. Just look how beautiful is that. And then on the other side, that is what it looks like on the other side, where the mohair is the main color, I can say. So as you can see, I couldn't put it down. It is a free pattern on Ravelry. I will also link that down below for you in my project pages. And I wanted to show you this branching. So I actually knitted to the 16 centimeters as suggested in the pattern. And then I started the branching where you do some brioche increases and some decreases, as you can see there. I just did the first of the branching. I think you do it 3 times if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, so yeah, I'm loving this. It is so soft and squishy, and yeah, I don't know. This is not my first brioche knitting project that I'm doing. Long ago, when Nitty Natty had a section in her podcast where you could ask her some questions, I actually asked her what is a good brioche project to start with for somebody that doesn't have any brioche knitting experience, and she suggested the Chromatic Cowl by Amy Detjen, I think, and I did knit that. And she also suggested that a very good second brioche project is this Skreppa cowl where you do some brioche increases and decreases. So finally, at last, I did the Skreppa. When I saw that was the project for the workshop, I was like, yes, I need to do that. Now I can start my second brioche project. So I'm so glad that we went and did this workshop. Juanita is a very, very good teacher, and she always have some tip or trick that she throws your way on doing something to make the process easier, even if it's just knit your first round to relax the stitches that you cast on, and then magically you can join in the round and the things are not so stretched out. So she always has a tip or a trick that I love, and yeah, I can really highly recommend any workshop that she does. She's a brilliant teacher and she's got so much patience. I really enjoyed it. So yes, that is my Skreppa cowl, and I'm sure in the next episode it will be finished because it is just calling me all the time. I actually am sticking to the needle size suggested in the pattern, which is a 3.5mm needle on, I'm not sure what the cord length is because I actually stole the needles for something and then I haven't put them back yet. But yes, I'm really enjoying this project. It's very addicting. I love it. And I really hope that we will see some of the other people's projects. But yes, that is my Skreppa cowl. And that is all of the works in progress that I have at this moment that I can show you. Let me see. Alright, I guess that is it for works in progress. Let's move into the crafting goals. I'm just giving you a quick update on the June crafting goals that I had. I'm not going to show all the things, I'll just put it on the screen while I talk about it. My crafting goals for June was to finish a piece of lace, to finish the pair of socks for my husband, the baby cardigan, and then I also had in the beginning of June 3 almost finished projects that I finished up. One was the Irene socks. I just had a small amount I think to do, and I was finishing up my construct hat by Woolly Wormhead, and I finished the Beekeeper Cardigan. So for my crafting goals, I finished the lace, I finished my husband's socks, and I basically finished the baby cardigan. I just need to sew on the buttons. So that was the June crafting goals, as well as the cowl that I re-knitted out of my whip pin. So those goals are all done. I'm very happy about that. And then for the July crafting goals, I decided to skip a project out of the whip bin to finish up for the month, because there is still enough time to do that during the rest of the month. And the reason why I decided to skip that as well is because of sock week. I mean, I'm trying to participate in sock week, and I thought I'm not going to overload myself with another extra project to finish up. So the only thing that I will be doing out of the whip bin is the piece of lace for the month. Alright, and then my second project that I would like to finish in this month is my socks, and I think that is definitely possible because I think I'm going to finish the second sock during sock week, which is this week. It runs from the 10th of July to Sunday. So what is that? The 17th of July, I think. Anyway, so I'm doing the July socks, and I really want to finish the hat for my husband this month. I haven't put out a schedule on the hat and the other projects for how much I would like to do every week, but I did do that for the lace, and I'll put that up on the screen. I am behind on the lace, but I'll just pick that up in no time. It really goes very fast. If you just go sit down with a hook, it just goes like that. So I've done a schedule for what I want to do with the lace. I did a schedule of what I want to do for the socks. So for the socks, I decided I'm going to do half a sock in 1 week, the rest of the first sock in the second week, half the sock of the second week in the third week, and the other half in the 4th week. But as you can see, I have passed those goals and the first sock is already finished, and I think I'm going to finish the second sock this week during sock week, so that'll give me more time to work on my other projects. I did not do a schedule for the hat. I'm just planning to work on it as frequently as possible and try and get the shaping as I want it to be and finish it this month so that you can still wear it in the evenings when we go for walks. And then of course I am definitely going to finish my Skreppa cowl because I really battled to put it down. And yeah, we'll see what else I come up with during this month. For now I don't have any other planned cast-ons because I am working on patterns and things behind the scenes that I'm not showing yet and not really sharing yet, but I do have lots of plans, and I have plans for a make-along in October, so I cannot share too much about all of those things for now, but I will share as we go along. And yeah, that is also taking up some of my crafting time, and I'm not sharing all the details yet, but I'll keep you posted. Alright, so let's move on to news. Okay, so for news this week, last week I put out 2 little tutorials. The one was knitting over your ends and the other one was jogless stripes. That is just 2 very small tutorials that you can save and use in future for doing those methods. I really love knitting over ends. It really has changed my knitting life. Even when I work with striping in my own yarns like this, I just knit over the ends, and when the project is finished I can just block it and snip off the ends afterwards and it's done. I don't have to weave in ends. So for these socks I actually just weave in the tail that I ended with and the tail that I started with, because these would toe up, and it's amazing. No more sitting and weaving in ends for hours at a time, because that is sometimes how long it takes. So I love that technique. I hope you will love that too. Alright, and then the next thing is, as I mentioned, Leanie and I went to the Yarnie Corner on the 2nd of July for the workshop. Mincy from Naughty Habit had a pop-up shop there, and yeah, I came home with some yarn, of course. Who can resist? Let me grab it and show you. So I bought this beautiful blue Kaiso yarn. It is definitely not true on screen. I'll try and put a picture up of the color. I bought this beautiful skein of yarn, hank of yarn, and I bought this purple mini. I don't think that's true to color either. I'll put a picture up of the 2 yarns. That came home with me, so I'm planning on some fun things. And then yes, I saw so many lovely friends, met some people in person for the first time. Marilyn was there, which we met at the previous workshop that we did there. She had the most beautiful jersey on. It was so beautiful. And then I was very surprised to meet Almarie for the first time. We actually met on Zoom, Naughty Habits Zoom, the first ever Zoom that I participated in from Naughty Habit. It was during last year's sock week, no, not sock week, summer sock camp, and I remember Almarie was knitting on a pair of socks for summer sock camp, and if I remember correctly, it was Rhinebeck Rumi's pattern from Kay. It was so beautiful. Was admiring that so much. And then when we came to the workshop, Elmarie was there. She was having the workshop with us. I really enjoyed it. She sat next to me. We had a lovely chat. We were chatting and knitting and thinking back because we were talking so much that we messed up stitch counts, and yeah. Anyway, it was so much fun. I really enjoyed it so much. Thank you so much for coming, Elmarie. I really enjoyed meeting you in person and chatting with you all the way throughout the class. It was really fun. I really enjoyed it. If I remember correctly, we were about 12 people attending the workshop itself, and it was the Yarnie Corner's sip and knit social event as well. So there were a lot of people. Gertruida was there in her personal capacity. She was attending the Brioche workshop with us, and Marina and Monica and I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, Daleth was also there. We met for the first time. And then who else am I missing? Alex, I saw Alex again. Nikki was there. Sonja van Wyk was there for the sip and knit as well. And Adela, oh, she was wearing the most beautiful brioche cowl scarf. I don't know what it's called, but it was beautiful. Really, really enjoyed that. Seeing that was really beautiful. So as I mentioned, there was a lot of people. Everybody was wearing the most beautiful handmade garments that they made. And yeah, I just need to knit faster so that I can also wear all of my knits to these events. I just love seeing everybody's things that they make, and I love to go touch it and feel what it feels like and know what yarns they used. It's just a ball. I'm enjoying it so much. So of course Dina was there as well. I will put up some pictures that we also took at the event, and yeah, share that with you. I really enjoyed seeing everybody and chatting, and yeah, it was amazing. I really enjoyed it. I also wanted to say thank you so much to everyone who took a little bit of their time and spent it chatting with me, and everyone who came and say hi, and everyone I met in person at the Yarnie Corner. Thank you so much for all of your support, watching the videos, liking, chatting, and all of those things. I really do appreciate it. All right. So the other thing that I wanted to mention, the Crafty Stitches craft night this month. I have not set the date exactly yet. I am thinking about Friday the 22nd of July. I will keep you posted on that on Instagram for the craft night, but I think it might be on the 22nd of July. So as I said, I'll keep you posted on that. And then, as I mentioned, it is Sock Week hosted by Knitty Natty, and my friend Leanie was posting she hopes she will see some South African participants at the cast-on party. And I said, oh, why don't we do Sock Week 2022 Team SA? That'll be so much fun. And off it went. Now we are doing Sock Week 2022 Team SA, and we actually also scheduled a Zoom party for Thursday evening at 8 o'clock for all South African Sock Week participants. This video will go up on Wednesday at 10 a.m. South African Standard Time. So you still have some time. You can send myself or Leanie a direct message on Instagram, and we will share the Zoom meeting details with you so that you can join us. I'm very excited to have this little Sock Week party coming up during the week. And if you are a South African participant and you cannot make the Zoom party, it really doesn't matter. It's just for fun. And then I wanted to ask if you are participating and you would like me to share your socks on my Instagram stories. Please tag me in your posts. I love to share everybody else's beautiful socks. So please share them with us and tag me so that I can reshare them in my stories. I would really appreciate that. Okay. I think that is everything. Oh, no, it is not. I wanted to also say that this is my 3rd year participating in Sock Week. And I am going to put up some pictures here of my previous Sock Week socks that I knitted. I remember my first year, I actually just knit one sock. It was for myself, so it is a smaller size. And I decided in the second year when I participated, I'm going to do a pair of socks in that week. So I actually did. I did them 2 at a time, and it was the funniest thing when when I posted the first picture of my socks, I realized that I'm using the exact same colorway as I did the year before. I just started the socks on different spots, I think. So I'll get those pictures and put them up here. I actually brought the last year's Sock Week socks to show you. This was made in the Naku yarns that I purchased. And I did purchase a lot of this colorway. So these socks are a year old, so sorry if they don't look so good. But this is the socks that I actually made for my 2nd year participating in Sock Week. And they don't look bad. They are worn and they held up very nicely, I think. But I'll put up pictures of the other socks, and I'll put on the screen what pairs these are that I made, because I started knitting socks in May of 2020, I think it's May 2020. But anyway, and I thought that is so much fun to just share my Sock Week history with you. So yes, maybe next year I should do a pair for my husband, or crochet some socks. I don't know. Maybe next year I'll be a little bit more organized, because we were talking about crocheting socks and we got a suggestion of specific yarns to use from one of our podcasters, Adela, from the Yarn Creations podcast. And unfortunately, I do not have more of that yarn on hand. So I decided to just knit my socks, and I'll be prepared next year for maybe doing crochet socks or doing a pair for my husband. That'll be a real challenge, because his feet is 27 centimeters long. So we shall see what we do next year. But for now, this is the plan, and this is what we're doing. And yeah, we already have quite a few people joining us for Team SA. So you can keep a lookout on my Instagram stories and so for me sharing some of their pictures. All right, that is all of the knitting, and I do have crochet. All of the knitting and crochet project for this episode. And let's move on to the next section, which is my podcast recommendations. All right, so for podcast recommendations, I have fantastic news that we have another South African podcasting. So this one is the Shawl Knitter Unplugged. So this is Sita. She is from South Africa and she mainly knits shawls. She actually sells them as well. And yeah, I am looking so forward to all of these episodes where she is sharing some tips and tricks and things on shawl knitting. And I am so excited to see different types of shawls and different shapes, and seeing some patterns to broaden my shawl knitting horizon, because I am still experimenting with shawls and I am not sure which shape I love yet, because I haven't knitted all the shapes yet. and I'm very excited about this one. I just saw that she just as I'm recording this, released episode 2, and I'm so excited to go watch that later. So I will link her down below for you, and you can have a look at that. The second podcast I would like to recommend is Crochet Creations. So this is Emily Crow. She lives in the US. She just made the most beautiful crochet shawl. I will put a picture up of that one as well. And I really enjoy watching her podcast and seeing the things that she makes. She is currently working on a series of socks that she's making with different Knit Picks stroll yarns, and she actually separated a gradient and made herself some stripy socks. And I love that idea. It is so beautiful. She was just complaining in the last episode about all of the ends that she has to weave in, because she was excited and forgot to knit over some of them and all of those things. And yeah, that happened to me too. When I was knitting something, I think I was doing wrist warmers or something, and I got so excited I also forgot to knit over the ends. But sewing in those ends cured me of that. Anyway, so this is my 2 podcast recommendations for this episode, and I hope that you will go follow them, give them some love, tell them that I sent you if you like, and yeah, please go support those 2 podcasts as well. I hope that you enjoy that. So that is everything that I have for you today. I will end the episode now with my comment question, and this is just a quick one. Please tell me if you love knitting socks and if you are participating in Sock Week. No matter where you are from, I would really love to know if you're participating in Sock Week, and what do you think about sock knit-alongs or make-alongs? Do you love them, hate them, don't participate, do participate? Give me your thoughts. I would love to know. That is everything that I have for this episode. If you like this episode, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more of my content. And I will see you in the next one. Until next time, happy crafting. Bye.